man. I always hate a forefront taste.
Yeah, I'm more of a back end.
I'm a back end kind of guy too. You know what, Ian? I'm with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
I like a nice back end.
Yeah. Always thinking about a nice back end.
Gonna have to pick up some more on Sunday, March 5th.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you $50. Need you to pick me up.
What do I have to do?
One more Loki axe. I need the pair.
Okay.
It's the same table where Sierra got.
Dagger?
Yes, Dagger. Oh wait, you're going too with them?
Yeah.
I'm intending to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll give you the money. But if you don't go, then you have to pass on the money to Ian. I want
That was
one more
that was
Loki
at the big table?
Yeah, where Sierra got her knife.
It's
Okay.
a side quest. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a side quest. Yeah, where it's a quest.
Side quest.
If you guys remember, I'd appreciate it.
I am honestly surprised there isn't somebody hanging around just handing out people side quests
Yeah, it'd be a great
just
idea.
just to
Bro.
fuck around and see if people will do it.
I do.
I think next year we should find a reason to have our own spot at the Ren Fest.
The Sofa Kingdom booth.
Yeah, man, have some shit to do. Like, you know where they have that whole interactive side?
We could
like
quiz
they're
people
talking-
from like pop culture and
Yeah,
shit.
bro.
If they get them right, we give away
We
like
could do some stuff.
the merchandise.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. You know what I mean? Show up in garb, trash talk people. We can make an insult booth.
Oh, man,
You come to us,
That's a fight.
and we insult you.
That's a fight.
Yeah.
I'd be saying a lot worse shit than that guy that was challenging me. Like,
What's going on here, Bono? What's with
Wait,
the
hold on.
I spent,
Before we let's
Oh no,
jump
this
into
is
the
going in.
podcast.
This is
Let's
going
go
in.
in.
What's with the fucking
I
glasses?
spent all day at the beach. I'm so yeah.
He's still recovering.
Yeah,
Eddie,
I drank. Ooh,
cue the music. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with Nelson, Bono, and Ed.
right.
Nelson, the Big Lebowski, and Ed.
Nice for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Lebowski.
Okay, no problem.
Ed,
No problem.
we'll start off with a nice saluda.
Yep.
Drink it down.
Oh, that's crisp. That's nice. No, I spent all day at the beach, and I had a Bloody Mary the size of like a bucket. So I'm just recovering.
The studio lights are hurting.
Yeah.
It's hurting. Everything's hurting right now. I'm in pajama pants.
And then we hit him with sugar, liquor.
Yeah, on the way over,
It's more sugar.
On the way over, I ate an entire bag of dark chocolate covered coffee beans.
Oh,
the first thing you hand me is an energy drink. I was like, sure, my heart can take it. What's the worst that can happen? So if I stop moving on air,
It's all right.
it's all right. It's what I
We
wanted
know
to
what to do, Eddie. We just push him onto the floor.
That's right.
Keep rolling because the podcast is what matters.
No, this is my disclaimer. My family cannot sue the Rosa family. This is my wish. This is my 100%.
This is the
wish.
hold harm.
Yes.
Yes.
I am
That,
releasing you guys of any.
Thank you. I appreciate
It was
it.
my decision to do this.
And he also told us before the podcast, do not resuscitate.
That's right. I'm DNR. I am DNR. And also, Shay gets nothing.
Shay gets
He
nothing.
gets nothing.
Yes.
I leave everything to Nelson Rosa.
Yes. I win, Shay. I win.
Oh,
So
God.
I think we jump right into it. We saw actually, let's start with the surprise trailer, right?
Sisu?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Since you discovered it, tell us about it.
It was a weird looking thumbnail, you know. It was like a rugged looking guy on the
Yep.
bottom, and it was an official trailer. Like it wasn't like a fake, you know. It had a couple million views, so I was like, all right, let's take a look at it. Here, it's the same studio that made John Wick.
Yep.
Yep.
It takes place in Finland in the 40s. What was going on in Finland in the World
Yeah.
War II?
Yes.
World War II. Guy's got a dog. Ironically, same studio that created John Wick. Who saw that?
Very cute dog.
Yeah,
A very cute
it's
dog.
like
Not an aggressive
it's
dog.
like a poodle looking.
And
Yes.
I tell you what, looks like he successfully keeps the dog alive.
Yeah,
unlike
that
John.
dog-
Unlike John, that dog looked alive.
That
You
dog
fucked
is
up, John.
riding shotgun and a motorcycle. It's.
Oh yeah. Unless they wait to
Don't
the
do that.
very, very end.
Don't do that to us.
To the very, very end.
Don't do
The
that to
dog
us.
almost makes it, and then the last Nazi,
Oh.
and then
I
he
knew it was
goes
gonna be legit when he
psycho.
stabbed that Nazi through the head. It was a Red Band trailer.
Yes.
Buries it to the hilt like the whole way through the guy. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a movie.
And through
All
your
right.
skull, you know how much pressure, how much force
who
you
throw-
need to generate to stick a knife through somebody's skull like that?
I could show you. Well, who throws a landmine like a frisbee?
I know.
Oh yeah,
That was good. That was
Captain
good.
America, maybe?
That
Maybe.
was the Call of Duty C4 throw added into the
Yes.
thing where I was like that. I've seen that before, and I hate that guy where you peek around the corner and he throws the C4 at you and blows it up midair.
That's not. Is it as bad as the noob tubers?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Listen, you know what I would do sometimes? when I jump into these rooms, and I think it was not was it the rocket launcher?
Yep.
What did they call it though? It wasn't a rocket launcher, but anyway.
No, it was the under the barrel on the M16.
No, not the noob tube. Not the noob tube.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual.
Oh, the RPG.
RPG. That's the word I was looking for.
Rocket propelled grenade. For
And
you.
we would start, and I would kill everyone standing next to me, and
wow, you're
repeatedly respawn, kill everyone. I'm getting cursed out in different languages, different accents. I'm being called everything under the sun.
You're just trying to make people play the least amount of time possible.
And bro, I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm playing music. I'm being that guy for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Music, you can't hear me. I'm just,
Just
laughing.
profiting
I'm
off
muted.
people's pain.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Yeah, just getting cursed out. I'm like, after a hard day's work, this is what I love about Xbox.
I'm glad all those players are in Fortnite now, and I don't got to deal with them.
Yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
building things and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you check out the trailer, Sisu. It looks like something I would like to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Me as well. It's a Nazi killing movie at the front, the back,
Yeah.
the middle, but it looks wildly entertaining.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, I don't know how long they're intending to keep the John Wick train rolling.
Yeah.
They got the 4th one coming
On
out.
HBO, I believe this month.
They found a few more new things they could kind of add in that they haven't done action-wise with them. They're doing gunfights from cars, and they're really stepping up. Like, if you watch what they were doing with it,
Yeah.
it looks absurd.
There's not much more they can do.
So,
Like,
I mean-
a man with a gold miner with a pickaxe hanging onto the bottom of a carrier
yeah.
plane chasing Nazis. I'm like, seems legit.
I mean,
yeah, I'll tune in for it.
do you think this is a weird Fast and Furious effect where
I
it's
hope
like
not.
the movies have to progressively just get like they're almost superheroes, they're breaking the laws of
Yeah.
physics.
Well, Marvel sets the bar high.
Yeah.
Right,
does.
but
does.
I
it's
think
based in kind of a fantasy
It's
world,
going
right?
back to just the movie being fun.
Yeah.
At
I'm with it.
a
I'm
certain
with it.
point, the movie started getting grounded so far into reality, and people are like, I don't want reality. I came here to be entertained.
Yeah.
Fucking entertain me.
Unless you want to watch
Stop
The Whale
giving me
with
real
Brendan
life.
Fraser.
They're like,
You want to
"All
cry?
right,
You want to
fuck
cry
it.
for 2 hours?
You
Watch
want
The Whale.
Vin Diesel being launched from a car, hanging onto a helicopter.
I don't want to
Yes.
watch Vin
and
Diesel do
bringing
anything.
you down with
Yes.
sheer will.
Yes.
I
Launch
want-
a car
yeah.
into space.
I
you.
just want Vin Diesel to say 2 things in my movies. I'm Groot. That's
I
it.
am
That's
Groot,
it. That's all I want from you, Vin.
Okay,
That's
so
all I care about.
they went to space. What is next? What could they possibly
back in time.
do?
You drive a car so fast, you go back in time.
Ooh,
Well, that's
time
not fast.
travel.
88 miles an hour.
Okay, all right,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, DeLorean. You're right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
What, how many gigawatts is that?
It's 1.7? Is it 1.7
1.26?
gigawatts?
Something like that. But then the side effects. You get Parkinson's. Yeah.
Oh,
So don't do it. They
man.
haven't perfected the science yet.
God damn.
Hey, Marty McFly is still suffering.
God
Have some
damn.
respect.
He got the
Have
vaccine.
some respect.
Oh,
Oh God.
Jesus. Well, they did find the vaccine is
Oh, we're not going there.
recently. Well, it's giving.
Yes, we are.
It's giving people Guillain-Barré.
Oh.
So it looks like people that are
Clarify, please.
susceptible, Guillain-Barré.
supposedly giving it. To
Oh no, they have a couple of cases actually where they're showing that they were plausibly already susceptible to getting Guillain-Barré, and this kind of tipped them over the edge. Guillain-Barré
turning
is
point.
yeah.
is kind of I don't want to say an autoimmune disease, but it almost resets a chunk of your neural performance. Like you have to relearn how to move and walk again
that sounds
sometimes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And the other main issue with Guillain-Barré is you can't get vaccines.
Right.
And there's no
Because-
relation to Gillian Anderson who played Agent Scully on X Files.
No,
Okay.
no,
Or
because
Gillian
we have
on the island.
we
with
have someone in the
crew
family
that they
with.
got.
That's Gilligan.
Yeah. I only know this because we have someone in the family with Guillain-Barré.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah.
can't get vaccines.
Yeah.
It's literally a death sentence.
Way to bring down the mood.
I like it. I like it. You know. We go
I don't want to. I don't want to cry. I want to laugh.
If you do want
I
to
don't
cry,
wanna-
just watch The Whale with Brandon.
No, well,
or
here I am saying I want to be entertained. I don't want reality.
Yeah.
But also, hey, Guillain-Barré,
Hey,
guys.
That's reality. That's
Oh, man,
reality.
that's fucked up. You
That's
know,
reality.
I need more liquor.
Also,
Oh,
well, a
man.
movie based on reality. Bert Kreischer's got that movie coming out.
Machine.
The
Machine.
That looks funny as
It looks
fuck.
Yes.
fucking great.
I will be watching that when it
Yes,
comes out.
yes,
I haven't
yes.
seen a good
I
comedy
mean,
in
a
while.
proper comedian just leaning into comedy.
Yeah.
Thank
We all
you.
heard the story, you know? He
Yeah.
hung out with the Russian mob.
Yeah, and his side man is none other than
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Who plays his dad? He plays his dad.
on.
And he's in the trailer a lot. I know
Yeah,
he was.
he's-
I knew he
yeah.
was in the movie when Bert talked about it, but it looks like he's really in the movie
Like he's
for a
gonna be-
healthy
And he's playing an
amount.
old grumpy asshole, so that's
Yes.
perfect. I'm on board.
I'm Puerto Rican, and I want Mark Hamill to be my dad.
I want
I
Mark
would
Hamill
want
to be
him
my
to
dad.
portray my dad in the movie.
I'm completely fine with that.
You know what? Sidebar. If you had a movie about your life, who would you want to play you in your movie?
Oh my god.
What actor or actress would you like
To play me,
to
like
play
my
you
story?
in a your life story? Who would it be?
God, I mean Ryan Reynolds is always charming, but it's unrealistic. He's so
yeah.
attractive and funny that they'd be like, "That's not Ian."
That's not Ian. Yeah,
That's
no,
not
it doesn't have to be realistic.
Forehead's not wrinkly.
Like,
enough.
for me,
in order, it had to be like to look like gruff and shitty like
Yeah.
me. You'd have to be like Brolin. Like you,
Bro,
Josh Brolin.
you're missing the one guy who can actively play you on TV right now. I'll just say, Doctor Who. He played Doctor Who.
Oh
put-
no!
He played
The ugliest man in Game of Thrones. Come on, I get it. Okay, I get it. I look like Matt Smith. Come on.
Hey, that's a good one.
I don't want him playing me. I don't want him playing me.
Eddie, right?
He's a terrific actor.
Yeah,
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
But he fucking has a nutsack on his forehead, and that's just. You're right. It would look just like me. You're
All right,
fucking
it's
right.
settled.
You're right.
Matt
It's
Smith.
Matt Smith.
All
You're
right.
Fair.
Eddie, who would you want to play you?
I mean, I'd have to get someone that looks like me. So
Uh-huh.
an Antonio Banderas.
That's
That's
just,
about
I was
right.
just about to
Perfect.
say.
Perfect.
No,
Spitting image.
No, listen.
Absolutely.
No, literally. No, he
Vin
looks
Diesel.
just. No, he
Vin
looks.
Diesel.
He looks.
Vin Diesel, bro.
No.
Vin
Antonio,
Diesel.
no.
Let's go wear the hat.
No, Vin Diesel is not good
Antonio
good looking enough
Banderas
to
has
play.
way too much hair.
Vin Diesel is not nearly attractive enough to
has
play
way too
Edward
much hair.
Rosa.
He's shaved the head before.
Listen.
He's shaved the head before.
Antonio Banderas in Desperado looks just like Ed Rosa.
Listen,
No, he does
With
not.
the guitar and the gun, he
No.
looks just like him.
Ian,
fuck outta
thank you,
here.
sir.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
No, you know
When
what?
I see that opening scene where he's playing the mariachi, I think there's Ed.
This is bullshit.
there's
No,
Ed.
I would say Brendan Fraser in The Whale, maybe.
Well, I just can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see John Leguizamo in the fucking Nelson Rosa.
That's
a good
bullshit. You know what? I'll take that. Benny
will?
from the
Okay.
Bronx. It's me, Benny from the Bronx.
right after,
Yeah, Benny Blanco.
It could be his,
Benny Blanco.
his next project after the Powers movie.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be a pile of
More
shit.
woke bullshit. It looks like trash.
Well, speaking of woke bullshit that ties in with the Bert Kreischer movie, the same people that are behind that movie created a comedic legend movie years ago called Tropic Thunder, which they are now asking Ben Stiller to apologize for.
And
Fuck outta here.
gratefully, Ben Stiller said, "No,
Good for him.
Absolutely. You should
Good
not
for him.
apologize for a movie you made
Yeah.
20 years
Ben
ago.
Stiller is one of our time's, our generation's
Funniest people.
comedian
Yep.
geniuses. 'Cause
Zoolander, Something About Mary, so much shit.
and like he director, actor, writer, comedian,
Producer,
he
yes.
killed it.
And he managed with that movie to really knock it out of the park. He managed what all great comedians strive to do on stage. Take something that shouldn't be allowed
And make it funny.
and make it funny where even the people that wouldn't want to allow it go, all right, you get it. You get the pass. You get the pass.
I
I
still
agree.
see Robert Downey Jr. in Black
I-
Panther.
I
movies.
don't know.
I want to see it.
I don't know anyone who's angry at
It's
Robert
true.
Downey for doing blackface.
No,
Nobody.
He
Nobody.
continued to make movies. And he's still making movies.
Not only that, Ben Stiller put his own wife in an orgy scene.
He did.
Yes.
In
He
a
did.
movie.
He did.
Right there.
He did.
He's one of
did.
the greatest men to ever walk this
He is.
planet.
Hero.
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 Amongst men.
I'm glad he didn't apologize.
Be a man.
Yes.
What are you doing digging up a movie? What are we going to do? We're going to resurrect Mel Brooks, who's probably still alive, and make him apologize for Blazing Saddles?
Listen,
Come on.
Mel Brooks is the male Betty White.
Yes, he is a
That's
treasure.
He's got at
That
least,
little Jewish man is a fucking treasure, and I
he's
hope
got
he
at
lives
least
forever.
30 more years behind him. Yeah.
So goddamn funny. But you're right. They probably. You can't even find a copy of Blazing Saddles, and if you could, you'll never make a movie like that.
You would need
No. No.
need a VHS player if you found one.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
or an 8-track? No, those are for music.
I get it. You gotta have like some kind of. You gotta You gotta protect people and shit. But when did we become so fucking weak? When did
Yeah.
it happen?
Yeah.
When did there's a limit to when you're real sensitive. Like you're
Yeah.
too sensitive. And I
Yeah.
think we're getting there.
And look, here's
Making
the
Ben
deal.
Stiller
Whatever
apologize. The movie was funny.
Whatever happened to, like, if you don't like it, don't watch
Don't
it.
watch it. Yeah.
Don't be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for you. But
Who's the
it's
fat comedian lady? I don't find her funny, so I just don't watch her. I don't
Roseanne?
cancel it. No, Roseanne. I can't say it. Maybe I can. Roseanne looks like my roommate. But anyway, no, maybe, I mean, like, fuck. She'll listen to this anyway. I'm sorry, Sophie. Anyway, but no, like, you're right. When did we just not, like, if you don't like something, like, if I don't like a certain type of condiment, I don't put it on my food.
It does feel like the scale is tipping back into the favor of people like, we've had enough of this
woke
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
You being offended is not my responsibility.
No, it's
Correct.
not.
You need to control your actions.
Yeah.
If you're getting offended on something, maybe you're a little thin-skinned.
Yep.
Maybe
And
it's
maybe
a problem you need to address.
Maybe you need to evaluate that part of yourself.
Especially if it's not a thing intended to be incendiary, intending to create a reaction. If it is something intending to be a joke, and it's intending to make light, and it's intending to be funny, and you're taking it to be offensive, the problem is probably more you.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is intending to offend you, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about comedians, when you're talking about movies, when you're talking about entertainment, majority of the time, these people are not intending to offend. They're intending to entertain.
Yeah.
They're intending to make light of something that may be serious for the ability to then talk about it down the road.
If it's comedy, if it's a comedy show, if it's a comedy movie, if you go to a live stand-up comedy performance, it's not meant to be taken seriously. You're absolutely right. You're going there to laugh. If you don't find it funny, don't buy the tickets. Or if you want, get up and leave the show. You can't cancel something. Like, if Kanye West does an interview, and he goes up there and says, blah, blah, the Jews are running Hollywood, blah, blah.
Please, God, no more interviews
Hitler
with
wasn't such a
Kanye
bad
West.
guy. Okay, fine. If a guy says that, then pull the funding. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hitler's not a bad guy. Okay, if you come out and be a complete retard, then you.
To be fair, we don't mean that when he says
of
Hitler's
course,
not a bad guy.
yeah, exactly.
He's not saying that.
I'm not saying it. Kanye already said it.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
so when you
Eddie,
say
don't make that into a gift.
right, of
That
course
we're playing
not.
over and over again.
Yeah, don't put a picture of Hitler next to me in the middle of the. But I'm just
With his
saying.
arm around ears, just
Exactly,
sitting
no.
there on the couch.
So yeah, if you actually say that outside of a performance, then then people have the right to attack you, whatever. But if it's a comedic performance and you're going up there and saying ridiculous shit, it's in the sense of satire.
Yeah.
It should not be up for scrutiny. Like, you're doing it to make fun of shit.
This is delicious.
I fucking hate you.
This is absolutely fucking delicious, bro. But no, please continue.
Keep eating.
Hitler's
Keep
what?
eating. No, we're done. We're done. We started this show out talking about Nazis. I'm not going any further into that. But anyway, yeah, comedy, you shouldn't be able to fucking bring. I mean, it's like people attacking Joe Rogan because he used the N-word and stuff in like some of his comedy. Dave Chappelle is one of his best friends.
Yeah.
No one if you honestly, you need to take a deep look at Joe Rogan.
A lot
if
of
you think
that
he's a
was
it's about
a lot of it was
context.
taken
About
out of context because
Yeah.
what he was talking about was he was doing pieces of black comedians' routines, and some of the times it was to other black comedians where they were discussing the things.
Oh, they had to go through all his shows to find it too.
Yeah, they went through all of them.
Liberal media made it a mission.
which was absolutely insane, and the way they characterize them. Breaking Points actually did a thing, and I might have mentioned this already before, that they actually went through and they took all of his actual stances on things, because he will play devil's advocate to pursue the conversation further when he's dealing with people.
as a counterpoint.
Yeah. So they took his actual standings on things when he's talking about where he's actually at, and it is the complete contrary. He is very much a liberal.
Yes, on a lot of his views.
On a lot of things except for gun rights
And woke culture.
and hunting.
He also likes red meat. Yeah, he's a big red meat guy.
Other than that, he's been on favor for Bernie Sanders.
I mean, he's for legalizing all drugs.
he's been on
He
favor
got me to listen to
for
Bernie
Wait,
Sanders.
this is not news to me. A white guy that wants all the drugs and red meat.
Yeah. But Joe Rogan is like the last free speech thing there is.
I mean, he's been for universal income, universal health care, universal college. He's all on board with, hey, everybody should get the best starting point possible. You can't equate for outcome.
And they still try to paint him as this right-wing nut job.
Yeah, you can't equate people's effort. But you can give everyone the closest starting point as possible, so they can get as far as they're willing to work to get.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at, you're right. We don't all start at the same place. Some of us are born with a lot shittier fucking advantage than other people.
And some people might work 80 hours a week happily. Some people might be done at 40.
Yeah.
You can't account for everybody's effort.
Yeah. Or work ethic. You know?
fuck this. Work ethic. Get this shit.
Yeah.
People are getting softer, soft as baby shit, and the work ethic is getting less and less. Trust me, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Speaking
God.
of work ethic, the work ethic behind Diablo
actually-
was fantastic.
that looks really good. Actually,
Actually,
I'm
Diablo
excited for June.
4
switching gears into it,
I like
it
how you
does
did
look
that.
amazing.
We went from Nazis to Diablo 4. We're doing good so far.
Yeah, I mean the graphics
What's the
on it
theme?
look absolutely
No theme.
stunning. Now, I did play the remake, and the graphics on the remake, even when you stand like
Which
a-
one, the Diablo 2 remake?
Yeah, even when you stand like 2 inches away from like a 4K display, I mean, holy shit,
Good.
the amount of work they did for the graphics on that. So
It's good. Blizzard is doing good
seeing
because
what
they need
they
it.
do with part 4, I mean, they really updated the enemies. They really updated a lot of the basic mechanics of the game.
I'm hoping that they do cross-platform online play because I
Yes.
would really like to play with my Xbox brothers.
That
Yeah,
is
man, that would be fun.
The
It'd
be
biggest
nice.
thing they
We
need
set aside enough time to just destroy the game together.
they need to
Maybe
do
even
the
get
couch
Shay
co-op.
involved. You know, that would be dope.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a group of 4. They need to do the couch
Not
co-op.
the cleric.
I call the
and
wizard.
Not the cleric.
They need,
Barbarian.
they need the cross-platform.
Fine, I'll heal. If you
Barbarian.
guys, I'll heal for you guys.
And he's trying to make a point, and we're like, wizard,
hope-
He's
Listen,
making a very good point.
I hope they
Barbarian.
have Necromancer because I played the Necromancer in part 3 when I had bought part 2.
What were the classes in part 2 and 3?
In part 3 was you started out with
The monk, the
monk,
paladin,
what was the shaman? There was
shaman,
a shaman.
Mm-hmm.
There was a demon hunter.
sorcerer. They
Yeah.
got all the basic ones.
Always barbarian.
But
Okay.
you were pretty locked into the characters as well. Part 2, you were way more even locked in. You couldn't
Yeah.
even change
Anything.
anything on your character.
No.
Once you picked it, it's like you're stuck with
Nope,
that.
this is
until
you
the end.
now.
Well, I
Um,
tend to go towards the barbarian classes in
It's
every
easy, you just
game
press
that
X.
I play. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I
hack, smash, kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the match classes is
My
generally
wrists
where
are beast.
Yeah.
I-
I think yeah.
Eddie's a magic guy,
yes, yeah.
typically. Yeah, yeah.
I
You're a health
Well,
physician.
I figure if I play couch co-op, I'll probably be playing it with Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll probably play a barbarian, and I'll probably just heal her. I'll be like, "Come on, stupid.
Yeah. Ian
Wear
in
some
the
heavy
background,
armor,
like,
stupid."
Heal.
Yeah.
Shout,
Heal.
tank, go
That's
forward.
right. I'll just keep
Heal.
healing her and casting spells on her. All right, protect me. I'll stay
But
in the back.
Fun game though.
I
Fun game.
believe they're looking to have it running online. They're looking to have like world events where things happen and the people in the local area can jump in. If they could do it properly, because that was one of the things I loved about Destiny was things would happen in the world and just whoever was in the area would be like, oh shit, something's happening, jump in, I want the loot.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I fucking hate when people will just run through hitting the square button to pick shit up. Oh my god. You can always tell too, like when the boss's health is getting low, everybody starts to fucking flood. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not even getting in there.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting in.
Well, that was the thing was everyone got
I'm not getting nothing.
their own loot, so that worked out great for that. So it wasn't like someone
Yeah.
was jacking the loot and running off where you didn't get a piece, which
I am great at.
in Borderlands.
Well, that's why you
Borderlands
picked the barbarian because the fucking strength's the highest, so you
Bro.
can always carry. Like,
When
Yeah.
I was in Borderlands and it was a loot free for all, I was the
all you
worst.
could see was orange. All you could see was
The
orange.
worst, bro. I'm just like, phew, 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 phew. Everybody, like, oh, what'd you pick up? I don't know.
Oh, ain't dropping shit.
Start shooting alien weapons. What's that? I don't know.
The worst type of person. The worst.
Oh, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing that to people.
I believe you did.
Now
It's
there
part of the fun.
is a Doom game coming out. And
top down.
And
shooter.
at first, I thought maybe it was going to be like a battle royale game, but it's actually a top-down mobile game.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks kind of like a phone game.
And I'm sick of battle royale games. They're kind of shit. Let's be honest.
But if they want Doom
Yeah.
to reach beyond the niche audience that they have right now,
Which is first-person shooter Satanism.
yeah. So I mean, it's
at its finest.
it minimizes the audience they can reach
True,
because you can't
true.
get a younger audience. I mean, the game looks gorgeous, but it is massively gory. You
Yeah.
can't get a wider audience on that game. There are some people that
Chainsaw
are
Man.
just not going to play that style of game.
I agree. You know, but that's what also made the hardcore fans. Like the
Yep.
hardcore
Yeah.
fans that were mainly adults, like older teenage boys and then men.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was a bunch of women that
People
liked it too,
willing
but
to pay for a T1 line.
the larger audience was that
play Unreal
type
Tournament.
of a fan base.
Yeah.
Back in the
You mean there's
day.
not a huge trans Doom fan base? Like, does it exist somewhere? Like, what the hell?
I'm sure there's 3 or 4 of them. But
Probably. Or
and
7.5
we
of them or
love you
something,
for
yeah.
loving games. No
That's
hate
right.
here.
Yeah, keep playing.
Except from Eddie.
Yeah, lots of hate.
Lots of Eddie hate.
Ed's a hateful person.
The Hateful Eight was all based on Eddie's personality.
Oh, fuck. No. So, that's still the worst, one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Oh,
I hate that
This
movie.
isn't the first game where they're trying to transfer to make a mobile money grab.
Like Bayonetta, right? Was that?
They did that-
Bayonetta is not going to be a mobile game, but it's like that is
They
a
made that a kid game.
deliberate
Weird looking.
attempt to make an adult game.
For
One of the
children.
few Nintendo adult games.
Yeah, it was really designed for sex appeal. That's how she was designed.
for like a child grab audience, which is very, very odd.
It's
and,
strange.
and this
It's
was
strange.
back when the GameStop was actually a dope place to go get games.
Yeah.
And when I would go into that video GameStop and I'm shopping for games, that song, the "Going in for the Kill,"
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Doing
yo,
it for the thrill.
I don't know what game this is, but I'm playing it.
Oh yeah, it was a Capcom sleeper hit.
Oh,
You know,
it was.
yeah.
They marketed it right.
It was like Devil May Cry, but like with for like
chick.
people that like
Yeah.
to touch themselves while they're playing, which is difficult to do.
I mean, Devil May Cry kind of
it's hard to do.
ate that whole audience of that style of kind of, quick hack and slash shooter game. Really, I mean,
she had like guns on her shoes and her
Yes.
high heels. It was,
Yeah.
it
her
was-
outfit was made of hair.
and she would go naked. She turned naked when she turned to the big monster.
when she would
Yeah,
attack because her
yeah.
outfit was hair. Yep.
Yeah, and they would try
Amazing.
to like make it real subtle, but like you'd see butt cheeks flapping. Yeah, it was Capcom.
Well, I
really
mean,
went
once
above and
fan.
once
beyond
they
there.
tried to remake Lara Croft and tone down what the character
Oh,
was,
that was the most
some-
over-sexualized video game character
somebody
ever.
had to come in
Ever.
and kind of corner that market of like, listen, you might not like it, but this character actually appeals to both men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It
different
caters
reasons.
to a particular fan base.
I mean, that's why they cast Angelina Jolie as her post-breast implants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. it's
Because
true.
they had to.
It's true. There was another game that we seen a trailer for. Eddie, what was it? Do you have it on your list there?
What was it?
It was it was an anime that we were looking at.
What?
Oh, no, there was
Demon Slayer.
There was
Slayer,
a
yeah.
game movie, Tetris.
Oh god.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you know what? Here we go.
We all play Tetris in some form.
Tetris, Ford versus Ferrari, Air Jordan,
Nike movie
Yeah, all
nonsense.
movies.
A lot of licensing
I will
movies coming
never
out.
fucking watch.
They're trying to make them look
Well,
like
I won't watch Tetris because I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, no, but not only that, it's
Don't
just
have
it's
it.
a bullshit.
they're trying to make
grab
them
for
look
a
like
movie.
thrillers, but it's like I don't know how this is supposed
Yeah.
to be a thriller.
You can always watch The Whale with Brendan Fraser.
Eddie said it. Eddie said it before. Like it belongs as a documentary, and
Yeah.
even as a documentary, I would watch it. Then I'm like, okay, this is an informative thing
I
about
do love
something
me a
that
good
I like.
documentary.
And
But
the
to make it a
documentary-
movie is insulting to me because it is not entertaining. The fucking story of Tetris. It's not dramatic. There's nothing that's gonna be like,
they
oh
got-
my god,
they got
like
a
they're
good
saving
actor.
the
They
president.
got Taron Egerton or whatever his
Yeah.
name is in there. And
Oh, yeah, Idris Elba.
He's a good actor, but it's like I don't care for him in
Same
this
guy.
movie. Like the story of Tetris, it's mostly sad for the main creator
Mm-hmm.
who essentially had his rights stolen out from under him by one company and sold to another company. And then somebody else sold fake rights this way.
Poor guy.
And this poor guy for like 30, 40, 50 years not ever got a penny for his creation for what is the most sold game essentially ever.
Yeah, there were so many different versions of Tetris.
What a fucking loser.
And it took forever for him to finally get any type of money because they
Yeah, get your life
wrongfully
together.
sold the rights
Poor
because
Soviet guy.
What's his
of-
name?
oh boy, I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head right
Try to
now.
pronounce
All right,
it.
let's call him Dimitri. Dimitri,
Wow,
get your fucking
wow.
life together,
What
bro.
a-
Well, eventually,
Insert generic
like,
fucking
eve-
Soviet name.
eventually he managed to get some kind of money
Dimitri.
because I
Nikolai.
believe
Volkov.
Nintendo really got pressured after a while because they were selling millions and millions of copies of this game,
Right.
and not a penny was going to the actual owner
And
of the game.
that's always fucked
That
up. To
shit
be
happens
realistic,
too. They
when that
blatantly rip
happens to
people
you.
off. I mean,
Yeah.
Disney's done it. Fucking,
Yeah, oh yeah.
With Kimba.
Listen,
Yeah,
We'll
lot
never
of-
let them live that down.
lots of large corporations, companies, they steal from other people's IPs and they don't get them a dime. And because they have the money and the or the capital to back up with litigation, they could keep these people from getting the money that they deserve.
How many times we see this so many times too? I mean, like there'll be a theme. Like something will come along that's really fucking popular, and
Yeah.
then you'll see something that pops up on a different platform that's so similar to
Yeah.
it. And you can us, the intelligent viewer, can look at it and go, "That's a blatant fucking."
Oh
ripoff."
yeah,
But
absolutely.
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
You
like
can't-
look, when we were growing up, right? You went to Toys R Us and you got the Ninja Turtles. But when you went to the dollar store, you got the Ninja Reptiles or the
Well, Street Sharks.
yeah,
Street Sharks
or
is
the
just like that.
Karate Turtles.
Battletoads.
Well,
I mean,
but eventually Street Sharks or Battletoads became proper names, and then you had to get the third-party shitty versions of those guys as
Oh
well.
yeah,
I know.
oh yeah, Battletoads.
Well,
fuck those guys.
Another Japanese franchise that got fucking ripped off was Battle Royale High School. It was an anime and it was a manga series. And then literally, if you read Battle Royale High School, which came out first,
Right.
and then you read the Hunger Games, exact same fucking story.
Interesting.
So the author of the Hunger Games read Battle Royale High School and said, "That's a really good fucking idea, and I don't have to credit these people for it."
right.
If you read it, it's a fucking blatant ripoff.
And that's a
Blatant
shame
ripoff.
That's
because
trash.
the manga industry,
It's shit on all the time. 'cause
a
it's
lot
like
of
in
people
Japan.
don't realize that those artists make almost no money.
Oh,
They
hell no.
literally
Yeah, no.
work 7 days a week, 12 to 18 hours a day.
drawing pictures over and over and over again.
And they end up living in like shared housing because they can't afford
Yes.
to actually live in their own place.
Get your life together.
Like it is one of the
We do not support that.
it's one of the art forms that is purely done by genuinely passionate
Sure.
people that they just love to tell stories and they want to get their story out there. And
It's
they're
their
willing,
legacy. It's their
yeah,
legacy.
they're willing to live that way just to tell a story.
Yeah, it's something that they want to leave behind. It's their legacy. It's their passion. It's their love. It's creative types are always willing to sacrifice.
And really, if you're a comic book fan, you should really have a deep appreciation for manga because of how it stayed true to its own thing.
Yes.
It stayed in its lane.
It always has.
I mean, there's ongoing series in manga, like mainly for me, in my opinion, the number one manga series of all time, Berserk.
Yeah.
I guess they're gonna finish it now too. They
Yeah,
said
but
they
you know
were
what's
gonna-
crazy? Each kind of culture has developed their own style. Like comic books, the comic book form that we know as Marvel, DC, that's an American form
Yes.
of
Yeah.
cartoon illustration. Manga,
Manhwa. There's all types of various versions, and they lean slightly different, ever so little bit here and there.
tentacle porn.
hentai.
That's
Yeah.
that's Japan.
And he's like, God damn it.
Those tend to fall under the doujin, which is essentially self.
I like this.
Not related to Doja Cat.
No,
No,
it's
not
a
related
separate
to
thing.
Doja
It's a
Cat.
separate
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's
But
the same
it's
thing.
No
it's-
octopus required.
It's self-publicated works. So essentially, they make it themselves and they pay to publish it themselves. But
Who was the
Right.
first person that did
and
that?
the manga industry doesn't frown upon
Walt Disney.
people taking
find
their
that out quick.
their things and making their own stories, even if they're adult,
Right.
out of them. So not all doujins are adult, but most adult and manga ends up being doujins.
Right, and we know that even as an American audience, what tends to happen is we get watered down versions of these beautifully written and drawn.
Oh yeah.
Like even like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example.
Yep.
I know we've talked about it in the past, where the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon is very adult, but the version we get is not.
Yeah. In fact, even some of the cards from the game never made it to American shores because some of the artists refused to change the art they drew for the card. So, because of religious reasons,
I'm gonna quiz you guys.
if there's an
and you're gonna
ankh
get it wrong.
or if there's a pentagram or anything remotely religious on a card,
Yeah.
it has to be changed for the American audience. So cards have actually never made it to American shores just because the artist said, no, I'm not going to change my thing. I'm not going to remove this little chunk just because you don't want to give it to your audience. I'm not changing my art.
Go ahead, Ian.
So-
Go ahead. You were
If you had a guess, what do you think the first hentai animation or drawing is from in Japan? Like, what do you think it is?
what year?
Yeah,
What year?
you had to guess.
2000.
No.
Much earlier.
It's got to be from like 1800 or some shit.
You're getting warm.
1999.
You're getting warm.
1700s?
Because
Okay.
they actually had... They had...
Is it before Christ or after
No,
Christ?
it's gonna be.
so the first-
wait.
the first- yeah.
It's gonna be older because they used to have manuscripts,
They did.
Ooh.
much like the
Cave drawings?
Well,
No,
well,
Fucking Kate? What? What?
The Mayans?
No, listen. So the first.
They burned a bunch of them. They banned them, and they had collected them, and they burned a bunch of them.
The
but they used to have manuscripts.
The first known tentacle erotica was drawn in 1814. It was called "The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife," and it essentially showed an octopus doing horrific things to a woman. But there actually was a law passed by the Heian government in 1722 that outlawed hentai manga in Japan. So they don't even know when the first shit was, but they know a law was passed in 1722
So it was
to stop people from drawing hentai manga. The Japanese have been fucked up for over 300 years.
Well, a lot of their
That's why we dropped the
culture
bomb.
is
Essentially-
based off of seafood,
Well,
right?
well,
Yeah, they took it seriously.
yeah,
really seriously.
tsunami.
Well,
seafood,
just like
things
the
that.
culture that has the Kama Sutra, they had their own version of that
Yep.
for centuries. But,
Sushi's so good, you have to fuck it.
but eventually, what happened was
I
these
disagree.
these manuscripts were outlawed. Anything sexual like that was outlawed, collected. A lot of them were burned and destroyed. Some people managed to keep a hold of them. But essentially, it was their version of the Kama Sutra.
Right.
And it was told in pictures and stories for entertainment, for education, for all of those various purposes. And they just became puritanical for a brief moment. And it was like, no, can't have
Right.
that.
I always appreciated the unapologetic, just like sexual weirdness of the Japanese culture. Like you can just walk down the streets in Japan and there's a vending machine that sells used women's panties. Like I'm like,
Goddamn
wow,
right.
like what a time to be alive.
That's a
like,
good
Well,
time.
a lot of
fucking
that
time to be
actually,
alive.
Not for me, but that's a good
a lot
time
of
for
that,
someone.
a lot of that comes down to one,
After a hard day's work?
convenience, but two, their need to not want to interact with people with anything that can be embarrassing. So instead of going into the store to do those things, they would put them in vending machines so you don't have to interact with a clerk. Same thing with like some of their hotels that are for like adult purposes. It's all done by computer, so you get your key and everything without having to see a
anyone.
person.
Yeah.
And even when they hand
They
you
don't know
food-
you fucking.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
well, they know you're fucking, but they don't. So you don't have
But no
to
one
see a
sees you.
person.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You don't have to have that awkward like.
So even when they hand you food, it's through a door where you open your door, you take the food, and then you close your door, and then you don't see anybody.
Like when you're at the
how-
pharmacy and you're picking up condoms and Slim Jims, they're like, "Wait a minute, sir,
love-
sir, what are you doing?"
I love how me and Ian bring the fuckery, and Eddie continues relentlessly.
We
to
need Ed because
educate
Ed constantly
and
has the
advocate
serious. Yeah,
for
he's-
these real
yes.
people
Well, even-
and their real lives, and me
even-
and Ian are like, we don't give a shit.
Even their adult stores have sections where it's like, oh, you go up to the next floor. That one's for the men only. That one's for the women only.
Right.
This one down here is shared because certain
where's
items.
where's the political warriors in that?
for the
Yeah,
sake
where's
of
the
people-
non-binary
yeah,
store?
whoa.
for the sake
Where's
of
the
people.
gender fluid
Oh,
store?
they don't do that shit in Japan. They don't play any of those games.
Oh, they'll kill you. They'll kill you.
They're like,
over there.
no. Pick a side, bitch.
Yeah. We have swords. We have swords. Please
Yes.
pick a side.
Yeah, pick a side, please.
Yeah.
We don't do this shit.
We fold these in the back. We
Yeah.
do this ourselves.
What's amazing is actually they don't care about cross-dressing and things like that. People
Oh no,
do
it's,
that.
it's in video games all
and
over the fucking
they don't-
place in Japan.
Right.
To them, it's like, whatever. You're doing your thing. You're not hurting anybody.
Right, yeah.
As it should be. As it should be.
Yeah.
Like, look,
If
do
you want to dress up
live
like
your
like a
life.
lady and put a balloon animal in your ass, you go right ahead.
I mean, one of
balloon in your ass.
Hey, I didn't say what shape.
I
just
wouldn't
said-
recommend any type of foreign object in the anal region.
We'll talk.
to-
We'll
one,
talk.
one of their most popular wrestlers is
We will not.
is a guy named LadyBeard.
Yep,
Oh.
I know LadyBeard.
Who's a
I know
guy,
LadyBeard.
fantastic beard, cross dresses, and is a wrestler.
Professional
Right.
wrestler.
And his
and
opponent.
sings heavy metal, by the way.
He's
He's also
he
a
was
heavy metal
yes, he
singer.
was a heavy metal singer for a while too.
I am aware
Because
of
if you're in
the Lady
Japan
Beard.
and you're not Japanese, you got to be an idol at some point in time.
Well, yeah, man. You gotta do your thing. Shit.
Actually, Baby Metal is a really good Japanese metal band, and they're it's two girls. that
Yep.
sing it. They're pretty good too.
Okay. All right.
What the hell is another good? There's also Japanese metal is actually a decent subgenre, like Maximum the Hormone.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of different anime like openings and shit. Japan has a good metal scene. It
Well,
does. It
Isn't
really does.
Isn't it really important to Japanese animation as a whole to have a really great
Opener?
theme song?
You have to. You absolutely
Right?
have to.
Like, isn't that part
It-
of their?
it is an interesting
you have to have
thing
something catchy
because
that gets people
yeah,
into
like
the show.
animation,
Attack on Titan?
animation and things out here doesn't get a proper theme song. Out there, legitimate
Yeah.
like charting artists
Yeah.
make the songs for the
But-
anime.
Now, to be fair, we used to get some of the best Teenage
90s
Mutant
listen,
Ninja Turtles. Yes.
If
Yeah,
you were
come on.
Disney, if you were
90s anime and late 80s American animation was good, and somewhere along the way we lost
if you
our
were
way.
a Disney
Even G.I.
movie,
Joe,
if you were a
American
Disney,
Yeah.
no, that's no.
G.I. Joe is there. Come
Compared
on.
to Japanese
Stop.
songs,
You
didn't sing
no,
along?
no.
You didn't sing along?
Compared to Japanese songs, it's trash.
He sang along.
If you're not a Disney movie out here, you're not getting a proper song. Out there, you might as well be getting Disney movie level songs every season and different songs for the opening and the closing of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got a 10
Japanese
season,
shows definitely have better openers.
if you got a 10 season show,
wanna be
they have
the
an
very
album
best.
because they have that much
No
music
one ever was.
of legitimate songs just made for the show. And if you, I've listened to some, you translate them, it's good music.
It is good music.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
is.
like it's not like bullshit theme
shows
song
like
30
Vinland
seconds.
Saga and shit.
It's a
their openings are
full-on
fucking
song.
Great. They're great.
All I know is that when we were younger, we used to get some songs. Even the Gummy Bears, the Gummy Bear song. Donald Duck, DuckTales. Ooh.
Power Rangers
Tell
to
me you
this
don't
day.
remember
Listen.
DuckTales. Ooh.
Catchy.
Power Rangers
Catchy
to this
songs,
day. slap.
but
Power Rangers.
But also that was a Japanese show.
yes.
But right,
It was.
but there was 30 seconds. They caught your attention. You knew what was playing, and you sat along for the ride.
Yeah.
That DuckTales song came on like 5 days a week.
X-Men had a good opener, but it was there was no lyrics.
No, but it didn't need it.
And you
Yeah.
just were like,
It
You
was-
didn't need it. You were in.
It was
Yeah.
it was a little epic for
It was.
for the show,
it
but
was. And you had the sides coming at each other.
Yes.
I was like,
Oh, but you know what? Let me tell you something. When you watch the X-Men,
Oh, yeah.
95, was it? 92?
early. Yeah, it was early.
Yep.
I was a wee thing.
The subject matter was adult.
It was
was.
pulled out
It
of the
was.
comics. It was
Yeah.
the legitimate subject matter which played on race relations by using people as mutants.
Yes.
Yeah, it used the struggle that the mutants were going through as it relayed a lot of like social culture
And
issues,
which
and tied
was
it in.
much more relatable to me than like if you watch these kids' cartoons now,
Soft
they're
as
a
shit.
pile of shit.
soft as
Yeah.
shit.
They're just nonsensical, stupid, not smart at all.
I mean, the
Yeah.
last
and they teach zero lessons.
the last cartoon I seen that had a legitimate strong story
SpongeBob.
with characters. What, Avatar, Last Airbender?
Avatar: The
Yeah.
Last Airbender.
That was good.
A lot of them now they might have some kind of story, but there really is no lessons being told.
I mean,
and this is something I said about children's cartoons for a while. Is if you watch them, 90% of the show is kids acting like assholes, and the lesson is taught in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you think the child actually caught the lesson at the last 30 seconds, no. What they caught was the 29 minutes of everyone's an asshole.
Caillou was a dick.
They're all being an asshole. They're all getting their way into
Yep.
the last 30 seconds, and then you're supposed to pay attention and catch the lesson then. It doesn't work.
I remember that X-Men show when it was on in the early '90s. I remember like my whole family watched. that.
Yeah.
I remember it was like me, my brother, my mom. Like there was like neighbor kids over. I mean, the whole like we all tuned in for
Strong
that.
enough story.
Yeah, the whole way through the Mr. Sinister squad. Like I was Sinister like series or spinoff.
Oh yeah.
It was so good.
Oh yeah.
It was so good the whole
You
way
know,
through.
you know what? And let's double into the Guardians of the Galaxy here.
Yep.
The new Volume 3 is coming out, and they're dealing
I'm
with
excited.
the high evolutionary.
I'm
Yes.
excited for that.
This looks really. I think people are going to
They're
be
going
surprised with the
into-
tone of this movie.
They're going
I think
into
it's-
Rocket's backstory.
I think it's going to be funny, but I also think there's going to be some really serious, dark
Yeah,
parts.
like
I can
Ant-
tell.
to this
I can tell from parts.
movie.
Yeah, I can tell from parts of that trailer. There's
Like
gonna be some
Ant-Man,
sadness.
they're leaning
Oh, yeah.
they're leaning more and more into it as the characters are getting older, they're leaning into them being more adult, and they're allowing the new generation of characters to be a little funnier until they have to be more serious.
Right.
And we already know going into this is supposed to be like the last Guardians movie,
Yeah.
at least with
Oh,
these
definitely.
characters.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's going to be, it has the opportunity to be a lot more of a serious tone, because if these characters are already saying off screen, we're not going to play them again, motherfuckers can die and it could be part of the story and they could just be gone.
And here's what would be dope about it. I think it would probably be the most successful franchise trilogy outside of the Avengers, because Guardians 1 heralded as one of the best movies made.
Still to this day, one of the best soundtracks
Guardians
in the
2
Marvel
was
movies.
a fantastic follow-up.
It was.
And then Guardians 3, if they play it right, could be like a full circle. Like, this is one of the best trilogies
They're gonna kill off some
Marvel has to offer.
We already know Batista's going down.
Yep.
Maybe
He's
even
getting
Rocket.
he's getting chubbier by
It
the
looks
minute.
like
He's-
maybe even Rocket.
A lot of I want to say a good chunk of them are probably going to end up in DC after this. They're
Yeah.
all following
Gamora
James
hates the
Gunn.
makeup. Batista's
Yep.
getting a little thicker. Chris Pratt's doing too many things. They're gonna,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, he's a Mario.
Well, I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. He
Those
is Mario.
makeup sessions. I mean,
they gotta be brutal.
you got to sit down for
Yeah.
4 hours to put on makeup, to go act for 16 hours, to then spend 2 hours taking it off, to spend 2 hours sleeping, to spend 4 hours putting it back
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank
It's a
you.
fucking nightmare.
yeah,
No, thank you.
yeah. I'd make him start with my ass cheeks every day.
Every day,
Every
cake
day.
my ass up
And
first.
Well, that's even like-
drink a lot of milk and just be like,
That's
Yep.
why you notice
Yep.
in the Christmas
Make them
special,
work for their money.
get in there.
in the Christmas special, it looked like Batista was wearing sleeves
Oh,
to
yeah,
do his
makeup,
arms, and then
yeah.
he just had cuffs to
Yeah.
hide the fact that he wasn't actually body painted.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lower budget, they needed an easier way to do
Yeah.
it, and even
Same
if
with,
it doesn't
same
look
with
as good,
Nakamura, but what's the blue girl's name? Nebula.
Nebula.
Same with Nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah, they toned down her outfit as well.
Yeah, but I think that's where it comes down to like, hey, yeah, just put more parts to the costume, and
That
then
just
you
slide
can focus
on
on like face work
versus
and
the
some
paint.
hands, and
Yeah.
you could spend a little less time. But trying to stay true to the comic books version, you have to lean into it in
Yeah.
the beginning. And to be fair, though, Batista's done a great job with it.
He
But
has.
it's also
It actually
the
saved his
role
career.
that made him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it,
made-
really brought him back. So it's easy to complain at the end of this journey, but let's be honest, like
But he
Dave
also-
Bautista
he
did a
credits-
lot of great.
He,
for
he also
Marvel.
credits James Gunn a lot with
Fair
getting
enough.
him with
Fair
getting
enough.
him
Which is
the
why
role.
which is why he's going with James
Fair
Gunn
enough.
into the
Fair
DC
enough.
run.
And I'd like to see what Dave Bautista does in DC. They are considering him, I think, for Bane.
Interesting.
Oh, he'd be a great Bane.
Okay, so that would be a dope role for him, and I think that's the one that I've heard speculated as of right now.
But he can't get fluffy then. He's got to fucking
Yeah,
well,
no.
I mean that's a black suit that he could put on as well.
yeah,
true.
he could put on
CGI.
one of those
CGI.
His arms.
Zach Levi,
Levi, yeah.
muscle suits.
Well, the guy that doesn't need a fucking muscle suit. Who's the kid that's playing Adam Warlock?
Oh
Wow,
yeah.
sir.
Oh yeah, he stepped it up. That's the kid from
He got,
Narnia.
he got big.
Yeah, well, he's also from that vacation movie or whatever. That kid's
Oh,
gigantic.
Yeah.
He's gigantic.
I mean, he's
Hank,
had a
Hollywood
lot of
diet and
time
supplements.
Oh, he got on that Zac Efron.
to double
diet.
down on them fish and chips.
Straight
'cause he's from
steroids.
the UK.
Oh. well,
Yeah.
But I mean, he's supposed to.
He might be hanging out with Henry Cavill then.
He's supposed to be, Adam Warlock. He's supposed to be like the perfect specimen. So
Yes.
you got a
Well,
you got a
he's starting to look
lot.
pretty
of,
good.
Shit, there it is. That's who would play me in a movie.
No.
Adam Warlock,
No.
the perfect specimen. We figured it out, gentlemen. Thank you, Eddie. Take us away.
No, Mike Myers.
Yeah, no.
Mike
No, no.
Myers. Yeah, Mike Myers.
Oh, that works.
Straight out of the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wait a
movie.
second. Wait a second. You mean Dr. Evil? I'll take it.
You'll take that? You'll
I'll
take
take
that?
it. Yeah.
You'll take that?
Yeah.
I like how you try to end the podcast with like, yeah, this beautiful man will play me. Hey, quick, cut it. Like,
And Eddie doesn't help me.
as if he's gonna just let everyone remember
well,
that.
There was a thing I wanted to bring up because this one probably hurts Ian the most.
Oh God, why are we bringing this up?
Why
then?
are we doing this
Why
to
are we
Ian?
doing this to me?
We
I can
realized
handle it.
because we were talking about Star Trek. Ian
Yes.
is way more fantasy than sci-fi.
Yeah, you know
Yes,
what?
yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
So for fantasy that they're talking about doing next, more Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes. Are you excited?
Well, it depends what direction we going.
Exactly.
Are we going forward, back? Are we
There-
going fictitious Amazon? What are we doing? Like,
There's
I'd like
no
to go forward.
There's no more books or anything for them
there's
to
no-
work
there's
off
nothing
of.
to yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm fine with them doing it. I'm not one of these Tolkien's fans. It's like, oh, I don't want black elves, and oh, I don't want them destroying my. I don't care. If
Yeah.
I believe that fantasy is fantasy, and you can make something good out of whatever. But like you said,
Yeah.
the books are done,
Right.
Yeah.
and
So
the Silmarillion is already being like utilized and trying to be put
So
into.
where do you think they could be going? Because they're already telling the past,
You can't go forward, can you?
and they already did
Can
the
you?
main books.
You have
so
to go forward.
How do we go out?
how do you go forward after the way they ended it?
We've done the Hobbit. We've done exactly.
The,
Sauron's
the
dead.
king is returned. So what? The re-return of what happens?
Oh my God! Lord, how do you go forward? Did they say what they're planning to do?
I'll have to think about
Everything
this
go to shit again. No one learned a lesson.
I'll give them a
The
chance.
king went into hiding again. The elves ain't helping anybody again.
Exactly.
All right.
So what do we do?
The
one.
dwarves are like,
what
what
if
do
the
we?
Balrogs, they form a collective, right? Like
the
5 evil Balrogs, right? And then they
Like
come.
Balrog from Street Fighter, a black
and
guy
they
with boxing
destroy
gloves?
they destroyed the kingdom in the opening scene, right?
Okay.
And then they force giants to collect gold for them and these magical weapons that will make
Wow.
this one
No.
bull rug in particular.
No, no.
Does this sound familiar?
no.
I don't know what you're doing.
Vox Machina.
You just substitute Balrog instead of giants.
Balrogs for,
I mean, what
for
do they do?
dragons.
Sauron had a successor also? Is that the game
Maybe.
we're
I mean,
playing?
I mean, you could tell another story. There can be another
Yeah, all right.
story.
Yes, fair enough. I'm not one of these purists. I would say if you do it well, if you have a good writer, if you have excellent casting,
Yeah.
you can do it. You can do it. You can create something out of nothing, but it's got to be done right.
Okay, what if the humans are mad that the elves left after a while? And
I'm
there's
fine with
nothing
that.
left to conquer, and
Oh,
they
they-
want to go after the elves' domain.
Or what if they make humans assholes like we always are?
Yes.
And they make us have, like, all of a sudden, like, a religious awakening happens within Gondor,
Uh-huh.
and they say, well, the elves must be exterminated. The dwarves
Yes.
must be exterminated with their
It's
old ways.
humans only.
I'm
Dude,
all
wait.
for that.
Boom.
Is there a point where the humans realized the elves were using the ring's power and they left the humans to hang?
I don't
Oh,
know.
they still had the 3 power rings? I don't know if they know that.
Right, that could be something.
That could be something to start a war. Is the humans finally realize, oh, wait a minute, you guys knew this was coming. You didn't help us.
Uh-huh.
You left us to fucking civil war.
Yep.
Oh, well, the humans are always like
You left us to die of starvation.
The human world is dying, and they know that the elves have a way of saving it.
So
but
they
that
try
would
to-
require them to give up their longevity of life.
Oh.
Ooh.
And the humans are like, well, you're,
And the elves
you're,
are probably pretty vulnerable because most of them are heading into the west.
you're withholding,
So
and we're gonna die. So we have no choice but to come and take it.
I mean, short of
Come
jumping,
on.
short
We
of
got some
jumping a few
stories.
hundred years,
Well,
it's
the
got
hu-
to be a Civil
yeah,
War
the
story.
the humans
essentially.
are like magic heroin addicts because I mean you saw what happened to the 9 guys that got the rings from. They
Yep.
turned into the fucking the
dark side
the,
immediately.
The wraiths.
Yeah.
They turned into the Nazgul.
They went
The
Darth
ring
Vader quickly, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle
Or
it.
you could simply just go with another quest within that world.
Yeah.
Right? It could just be something else that's happening.
You have a transgender main character.
World-changing world. No.
Yes, a transgender swordsman will be the main character.
Well, then just a druid that can change shape. So
I mean, the fall of Saruman, maybe,
No, man, lady.
where he goes evil. We could tell plausibly his story, but then we're just retreading on story we've already told.
So Sauron's in it, but he's got like breasts and like a giant.
what if
Johnson.
what if Gandalf goes bad?
Oh,
Right?
Gandalf the Red?
Another wizard.
another one of the main wizards that was supposed to help goes bad, goes evil.
Oh, like the guy that smokes weed. What's his name? Radagast the Brown. Yep.
Yeah. And now he's Radagast the Red.
Or he starts doing meth.
Yeah. Radagast the meth.
Yeah. Radagast the meth.
I'm so in. Tell the story.
I'd watch it.
Listen,
If you made a meth addict the bad guy, I'd watch it. I'm on board.
what if they go a completely different route, right? And they go into the future where like man is the now man, right? And now the elves decide to come back and fuck up all the reality. Like, oh, we just
So it's
thought
like
it
Chicago.
was stories. And so you got guns and modern day weapons
So-
fighting against
So,
magic.
so we're talking about
Oh, man, like Shannara now.
Amazon Prime show with Orlando Bloom. Is that what we're talking about?
That's Carnival.
Carnival Row.
Yo, listen, man.
Which, by the way, the second season dropped.
and I'm watching
Yes.
it.
Is it
I
good?
like the show. I do.
I gotta wait for a certain someone to catch up.
It
so I
was
can
so
watch
much.
It.
It was so much time between
That's
the
the
seasons.
only thing that fucked it up. It was the
And then
wait.
apparently
And they
they're-
dropped it silently.
Apparently
Yeah.
they're not doing a third season. They're
No,
ending it at
no.
2.
Oh, so there's no reason.
which
to even
is
start
which
it.
is trash because the show is actually very good. The show is actually very
The
good.
problem is trying to have the same 10 actors in every fucking thing is
Yeah.
they're busy. And then
Yeah.
it takes you 4 years to put another season out.
Orlando Bloom shouldn't be busy.
Yeah,
This is like all
Amazon
he's
Prime,
doing.
just call me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Lord of the
down.
Rings ended, man.
It
Where you
did.
at?
Yeah,
It did.
That's true. And the pirates ain't coming back for a little while. Johnny Depp is still fighting with Amber Heard. Like, I mean, like, you know, we got some shit that's happening.
Amber Heard could be the boss.
the main
Amber
villain.
Heard, the new villain in the. Because would you not watch
I mean,
something where Amber
what's her
Heard's the
power?
villain?
Shitting in
I mean,
your bed?
apparently we're
Just-
gonna watch something with
Just
with
cast
Ezra
dookie
Miller.
spells.
We're gonna watch something with Ezra Miller coming up. So I mean, I guess might as well. You know what?
And
Team up
that's-
Amber Heard and Ezra Miller
That's-
as some villains in the movie.
Well, that's how you fucking get me to watch an Ezra Miller movie. You bring Michael Keaton back.
Do
as
you
Batman.
think they're going to kill him off by
hope
making
so.
this a Flashpoint movie and just fucking swap him with somebody? It clearly looks like they're making him to be the good guy and the bad guy.
I hope so.
There's 2 of him
There
running
is
around.
Two. There is
Yeah.
two.
They're both running with different colors.
Yeah.
It looks like one of them is plausibly going to be the reverse Flash,
Yep.
or become Eobard Thawne
and there's
or
a
something.
there's a female Superman in
Yep.
the trailer. There's a female Superman.
Supergirl. or Super
Yeah,
Woman.
but it's not fucking.
I'm
And
down.
she's playing.
She looks good.
She's playing the
Looks alright.
Flashpoint cartoon version of Superman,
Yeah.
where Superman was locked up and was never allowed to be in the sun
Still a guy though in the
because
comic
the
book.
government got to him first.
He was like he crash landed in Metropolis, killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
The government locked him in a lab where he never got sunlight. He was
Yep.
all like emaciated.
Yeah.
But then he got out and
As soon as
freaked
he got
out,
into sunlight, woo boy, he became a problem.
and he started
Why-
killing everybody.
But why stop at Michael Keaton? Get the old school Wonder Woman back too.
Yeah, and we could have
Throw her in her duds. Get that lasso.
yeah, we could have
the
Christopher Reeve
onesie.
play Superman.
Thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, where Ian likes to drop bombshells on dead people.
What? You need
Nobody else does that.
You need
shit.
a skinny, emaciated Superman.
Eddie,
Christopher
tell
Reeve.
these people where they can find us.
Sofa Kingdom OFC, Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
And on our YouTube.
Yep, Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
And on our YouTube.
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
It's good shit.
I'm-
It's good shit on that YouTube.
Ed, how was that mead?
The meat is good.
Yeah,
It is good.
It was
It is good.
It was 90% warm water.
It was good though. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing it. I like that idea.
No,
of a food-
yours was regular mead. Mine was regular mead. I didn't
Yeah,
have
no,
enough for
he
Eddie.
gave me some watered down version.
Gave you what?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he watered it down. I know.
You fucking gave him meat and warm water.
Oh no, see, I know he wanted me to say something, so I refused to say anything about it.
Listen, I watched his
You've been
face.
sitting here the whole time.
Oh
I
yeah.
watched his
You
face.
cheers
When
him.
he said,
Listen,
yes, I did.
You did cheers.
That's why he did it. That's why he did
You're a
it.
fucking monster.
This
Whole time.
Me and Eddie looked at each other, and he looked at me like, "You dick." And I was like, "Enjoy your water."
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
It was warm water.
Ed, I'm sorry. If I'd have known that, I'd have switched cups with you.
I've lived with Nelson nearly 40 years. I know how this works.
Okay, I'm
Oh
sorry.
God! I was waiting till the end of the podcast to bring it up too. It hurt me.
He's over here drinking his meat and eating his cupcake right in front of us. Wow.
Oh man, I was dying on the inside. I was like, I gotta bring it up. Wait to the end. Gotta bring it up. Wait to the end.
Wow. Wow. And no one at home knew.
Oh, that's joy.
I'm sorry.
That's joy. I'm tearing right now.
I know, that was legit. Like legit, like I handed him a cup with fucking warm water.